I'm back to Tell the Truth channel. Please like, share my content on YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, and what other content that y'all go on. I appreciate that very much. I am in Jesus and Jesus is in me. All right. I want to talk to y'all because I have something weighing on my heart that I want to talk to y'all about. And it's about the Board of Education. It's about how these teachers in school had picks over certain children's in school. Like back then they had the children's there was special needed that need more time with the teachers than the other children's. So they had other children's was more advanced than the other children's. So what they would do back in our days, they did this back in our days, and I see that they still doing it in these days too. So instead of the teachers um spending time with the children that needed more attention, they gave more attention to the ones that already knew more. So they was picking picks over children's. Now, I don't know if the Board of Education knew that these teachers was doing this, but this is what they are doing, and that's what they was doing back in the days. Instead of them saying that they can't deal with all the children's together because some of them need more attention than the other ones, what they should have said, well, you know what? Let us find a way where we can put the children's that's more advanced than the other children's. Now, that's what they did back in our days. They took the children's that's more advanced than the other children's and put them in special need classes. And then the other ones that was more advanced, they kept them. But before they even thought about that, they had them all together. So they will favor more of the kids that were smarter than the other ones that was not that smart. And they would pay more attention to the ones that was more smarter than the ones that was not that smart. So then you wonder why that kids had so much problems learning, because the teachers was giving more attention to the ones that knew more than the other ones, when they should have been paying attention to the ones that needed them more than the other ones. That's what they should have been doing. But then they will always say to certain kids, you're not going to never make nothing out yourself. You're never going to be nothing. You're never going to do this. You're never going to do that, because they was more slower than the other kids. And then they would tell the other kids, well, you know, you're going to be this, you're going to be that, you're going to be this. They was praising them up, but putting down the other kids. Now, they could be doing that now in the Board of Education now in these schools. They could be doing it in these schools. Now, I'm not going to say in other schools like, the schools that, suburb schools, I am not going to say that the suburb schools favor their children's like that. I can't say that. But I am going to say the schools that's in low income areas, they do that. They favor more of the more advanced kids than the kids that's not advanced. Instead of them going to the principal and saying, well, we need more help. We cannot teach the ones that's smarter and leave the other ones out. But they don't care. They don't go to the principal and say that. Because I'm quite sure if they went to the principal and told the principal that they need more help, that they cannot teach the other kids because the other kids is not advanced as the other ones. So could y'all please give us some help? Send somebody else in to help us so we can work with the ones that's more advanced, and then get somebody to help the ones that's not that advanced. So that's not how they thinking. So they would throw these little kids, they would throw these kids right up under the bus. Just throw them all under the bus. I'm telling you, they ain't just from fifth, I mean from fourth, fifth, sixth, seventh, and eighth graders. Because, his kids was in eighth graders and all that stuff was going through that too. Not just the young ones. Everybody was going through that. And they still will pick the ones that knew more than the other ones and put them on the side of the burner and just, send them home and let their parents deal with them because they ain't got time to deal with them. But they getting paid to take care of these kids and help these kids learn too. They thinking about just helping the ones that already know, which these kids they got it going on. They know what to do. But these other kids need more help. So they just like, well, we just going to send y'all home. Let y'all parents deal with that because y'all too much of a headache for us to deal with. We tired of trying to teach y'all how to sound out your letters and all that stuff. We tired of doing all that. That's too much work. That's too much work for us. So we just going to send y'all home and let y'all parents do that while we work with the ones that already know what to do. So yeah, that's what they're doing right now in these public schools and these low areas that they're doing it now. And low area, y'all know what I'm trying to say. In the areas that I said, low income areas. That's what I'm trying to say. Low income areas, they're doing it right now today with these children. They have their picks over these kids. And look, parents, if you feel that your children is not learning like they should be, like the other kids, and you go to the principal, and then the principal don't get on these teachers because they getting paid to teach all these kids, not just certain kids. They there to teach all these kids. So if y'all going through that, don't take it to the principal. If she's not going to do her job or he's not going to do his job, go to the big people. Go to the Board of Education. Go complain to them. Because the Board of Education is the one that's paying these teachers and these principals. They're getting paid from them. So if y'all feel that something is not going right with y'all children, and y'all know y'all children should be learning, just like all the other kids, regardless if they are slower than the other ones, they all should be treated equal. No different than the other ones. They all should be treated equal. And if you feel that your child is not learning in school, because like I said, a lot of kids went through that back in the days. They went through that and they was not learning. They was not learning because these teachers didn't have time. They just didn't want to deal with that. They wanted to deal with the ones that already knew something. They didn't want to deal with the ones that didn't know something. That was too much of a headache for them. So they didn't care if they made it or not. Sometimes they took the kids and just pushed them right through school, even if they didn't know nothing or not. They pushed them right through school. And they probably doing it now. At the schools now. They probably just, even if your kids don't know nothing, they going to push them right through school. And then when they don't push them right through school, they put them back in their classes, and then they with other kids that's younger than them and they older. Now, do that make sense to y'all that they should be doing that? That the kids should be learning in other classes with other kids and they older than these kids, but they putting them back with the other kids that's more, younger than them. When they should have been finding some kind of way to spend more time with the ones that was not that advanced. That's what they should have been doing. Finding some kind of way to get some help. Like having a way where they can have school after school programs, because they had after school programs back in our days. They had that. They had after school programs back in our days, but it wasn't for to learn. It wasn't for that. It was for to you to go and gymnastic stuff like that. They had for after school programs, but they didn't have it for. Thank you, Daddy. They didn't have it for having the kids to go to school and learn, the ones that were slow, that was not as advanced as the other ones. They didn't need them for after school. The other kids that were slower needed them more. So what they should have did is open up an after school for the ones that's slower, that need them, and have them to come to after school so they can help them learn. But they wasn't thinking about that, because all they was thinking about is getting a check, getting paid, and going home to their families. That's all they was thinking about. Because you know what? They forget that they was once in school too. They did not grow up being a teacher as they are. They was once a child too, which they should put themselves back there and realize that they was once children's too, back in the days, that they had to go through the same thing that all children went through. They went through it too. So they should understand what other children are going through, because they went through it. What's the difference? But it get to the point that they get to the point like, no, I don't have the time. I don't have the time to do all of this. But you want the check though. But you want the check. But you don't have the time to teach the ones that need your help. You don't have the time for that. But you have the time to teach the ones that don't need your help. But you don't have the time for the ones that do need need your help. You don't have time for that. But you want that check every 2 weeks. You want that check though. Yeah. You want them checks every 2 weeks though. But you don't have time to teach the other children. So this what y'all parents need to get on. This is y'all job, because y'all are sending y'all children to learn. And that's what these teachers went to school for, to teach other children to learn. So if your children is not learning, then you go to the Board of Education and tell them that these teachers is not doing the job that they're supposed to do. And why is they getting paid? And why is they at these schools if they don't want to teach these kids like they supposed to? Because you don't hear these problems in suburbs. You don't hear that. You don't hear them problems in suburbs. You hear them in low income areas. You hear it there. That's where you hear it from. Because they think that by these kids living in low income areas, they don't need to be treated like other children because they live in low income areas. And that's not right. Everybody should be treated equal. No different than nobody else. Everybody need to be treated equal. So like I said, parents, if you think your children is not learning and your other child is learning more than this child, and your child is coming home and she getting F's and U's and all that stuff, and your other child is sitting up there coming in with A's and B's, that's because this teacher is working more with the child that already know more than the ones that don't know more, because they putting it all on y'all to do it, while they just sitting home, while they just there getting a check for the ones that they're already teaching that knows more. So it's up to y'all parents to do this, to get on these teachers. If they're not teaching y'all kids as quarter to the way they're supposed to teach y'all children, y'all need to get on them. So this is what I want to talk to y'all about. Don't sit here and let your child go through school not learning, don't know nothing, and then turn around, they can't make nothing out of their life when they get up there because of these teachers thinking that they too good to teach these kids that need more help than the other ones. Make sure they teach your children. Make sure your child know just as much as the other child. Make sure. And if they don't, take it to the Board of Education. They have to handle the job. That's what y'all do. So thank y'all for listening to me. Jesus love you, Father love you, the Holy Ghost, the angels, the ancestors, and I love y'all. And I will be back to talk to y'all again soon. Y'all have a good day and a blessed day.